Hello! It's time for part 2 of my showcase series. I'll show you another archetype I made on YCM forums. Just give me a second to get there. Okay, this is the Mushroom Army archetype. A little different from the Koopa Army one from last time. Poltergust 5000. Equip spell. Equip only to Mushroom Army Luigi. Once per turn during your standby phase, take one card from your opponent's hand and put it into your hand. Yeah, that's pretty good. The only problem is that it's stuck to Luigi, who's a normal monster when you get to that later. But he gets to steal cards from your opponent's hand every turn. That's pretty sweet. Mushroom Army Mario. Light level 5 effect warrior. Any level 3 or lower Mushroom Army monster cannot be targeted by battle. 1900 and 1700. Yeah, you heard that right. If Mario gets on the field, there are some cards in this archetype, like Toad and stuff, that will just be protected. As long as Mario's there, they can't get hit by anything. Well, at least attacks. Mushroom Army Toadette. Level 2, light, fungus effect. If Mushroom Army Toad is on the field, this card's defense increases by 700. If Mushroom Army Princess Toadstool is also on the field, increase all three of their attack and defense by 400 and cannot be targeted by battle. Yeah, Toad, Toadette, and Peach have a thing together when they're all out, which is pretty good. Fire Flower, regular spell. Tribute one Mushroom Army Mario to special summon one Mushroom Army Fire Mario from your hand. Useful if you don't want to tribute summon, you just want to special summon him instead, so you can get an extra summon in there. Toad Token, level 1 light fungus token. Special summoned by Mushroom Army Princess Toadstool, 200 and 200. You know, tokens, they're weak. Mushroom Army Toad, level 2 light fungus effect. If Mushroom Army Toadette is on the field, this card attack increases by 700, 800, and 600. So you can see, Toadette and Toad have inverse stats from each other, and they get the opposite boost from their higher stat. Then they get extra points for Peach being with them. And all three of them together have a lot of points, up to like 1900-ish, around there, something like that. And can't be targeted by battle. So getting all this setup done can make these cards a bit of a pain to get rid of. Mushroom Army Luigi. Level 5 light warrior. Normal monster. Luigi, along with Mario, are the ultimate dream team. 1600 and 2000. He can block pretty well. Warp Pipe. He's a bit of a weird one in my opinion, but cool. Trap card. When your opponent tribute summons a monster, take control of that monster and place one of yours on their side of the field. You must control at least one monster to activate this card. Basically, yeah, if your opponent activates a tribute summon, you take the tribute summon monster, then you take your monster and you go whoop, just flip them around. Bro Power! Continuous spell. As long as both Mushroom Army Mario and Mushroom Army Luigi are on the field, their original attack becomes 2700. Yeah! Put both of these bad boys out and have this card out, and yeah, they're going to be powerhouses. Now, stacking this is pointless since it only makes their original attack go up to a certain value. So you can't, like, abuse it too much. Mushroom Army Princess Toadstool. Level 2 light royal effect. Once per turn, you can special summon a Toad token. 800 or 500 and 400. Royal Castle. I know it's Peach's Castle, but I wanted it to be a little more broad for the card game. Field spell. For every royal type monster you control, your warrior type monsters gain 300 attack. And the last one, Mushroom Army Fire Mario. Level 6 Fire Warrior effect. This card gains 600 attack when it battles a Koopa Army monster until the end phase. 2200, 1800. This effect is pretty specific. If you're facing any other archetype, he sadly doesn't get the boost. But he's still a decent level 6 who's a fire attribute, so I guess he can still be used. But if your opponent dares to use Koopa Army against it, they're going to get fried. Like, really fried. And that is the Mushroom Archetype. Mushroom. Helps for protection. Pretty good with protection. A bit of card steal. And I guess building up power to make their... basically make a wall that your opponent can't overcome. Yeah, ignore that. We have time for one more. Let's do the next archetype. Or not really an archetype. This is the first of some miscellaneous mini archetypes. It's basically the last of the Mario series cards before I moved on to Zelda. Waluigi. Dark level 4 Thief effect. Good old Waluigi. When in battle with another monster, activate one of the following, activate one of the effects depending on the attribute. Dark and the battle phase. Light. This card gains 700 attack during damage calculation only. Earth. Switch the target's battle position. Wind. If this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, draw a card. Fire. This card can attack your opponent directly. And water. Trap cards cannot be activated. And this works, during your opponent's turn if he attacks Waluigi as well. So, if a Bomb, for example, who's a fire attribute, were to attack Waluigi, you get direct hit. Also, Divine is not calculated for this, so they get just get to hit Waluigi normally, like it's nothing. Oh, 1500 and 1700 for stats. Wacky Wario Bros. Anybody like SMG4? I do. Counter Trap. When a trap that targets Wario and or Waluigi is activated, negate the effect, and if you do, destroy it. When this card's effect resolves, draw 2 cards. Pretty good, huh? Negate and destroy an effect that targets Wario and or Waluigi, though it has to be just a trap. So a trap that targets only one of 2 monsters, you can get 2 cards from it. I think that's a fair trade-off. Wario, level 4 Dark Thief effect. Once per turn, you can draw a card during your end phase. 1800 and 1600. Yeah, Wario, that greedy little man. Fatso. Pink Luma. Level 3 Light Cosmic effect. So, I'll make this brief. All 4 of the Lumas have slightly different attacks and defenses. They're all level 3 light monsters. And all of them basically have an effect that lets you grab a Luma from your deck and put it into your hand, but they all have a different trigger for activating it, but they all have the same effect. Pink Luma happens when you discard from the deck. Yellow Luma is when you get it destroyed by battle. Orange Luma is when it's discarded from the hand. And Purple Luma is when it's destroyed by a card effect. But they all do the same thing, though. And it's good for setup for a couple cards later on, you will see. Comet Observatory. Once per turn, select a Luma monster from the deck and place it at the top of the deck. All cosmic monsters gain 300 attack and defense. Even more support for the Lumas. And here is the big kablammy, I guess, when you get everything done with this archetype. Rosalina, Guardian of the Lumas. Level 6 Light Cosmic effect. This card is not treated as a Luma card. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Can only be special summoned by having 4 Luma monsters with different names in your graveyard. Cannot be summoned by other ways. The original attack and defense of all Luma monsters are double as long as this card remains face up on the field. 2,000 and 2,100. You could have 2 Rosalinas if you want and quadruple them, or have 3 Rosalinas and 8-fold increase, except that you would be no Lumas left, so you'd have to revive them to get to use their immense power. Well, that's only saying if all those Rosalinas stay on the field. A couple of more miscellaneous cards. Tennis Rackets. Equipped spell. Equipped only to Daisy. She gains 300 attack and defense and can inflict piercing damage to your opponent. Daisy, level 4, fire, royal effect, fire because of her competitive spirit. The Princess of Sarasaland isn't your everyday highness. She is a competitive athlete with a burning passion for playing rough with the boys. 1650 and 1550. Enchanted Crown, equip spell. Equip only to a royal type monster. It gains 400 attack and defense. It cannot be affected by your opponent's spell cards. Shadow Mario, level 5, water, fiend effect. This is technically a Koopa Army card. I kind of came up with it later on. This card cannot be destroyed by a fire monster. Once per turn, select one Koopa Army monster from the graveyard. Put it into the hand. 2100 and 1900. If you combine this with Bowser's Castle, that's going to be a threatening combo. And he doesn't have Koopa Army's name, so he doesn't get all the support, but he does still help out. And those were the Mushroom Army and the miscellaneous extra archetypes of the Mario series. If you come back later, I'll try to cover the entire Zelda line, or maybe at least most of it, because there's quite a few of those too. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like or subscribe if you'd like to see more cards I've been making. FYI, I've been making this video game versus game for cards without the normal TCG cards in mind, for the exception of polymerization. So, like, if you think about these cards, try to think about it as if these cards were all on their own, not alongside real cards besides Poly. Now, okay, got that cleared up. This is Golden Gem Games, and I'll see you later.